Okay, well, with all this coronavirus, gun shortages, and insane stuff, where you can't find ammo in AR-15s or, you know, what everybody's looking for in high-capacity 9s, it's nice to run across a good old mill surplus gun. And what happened was in my travels, again, I just stumbled across this Swedish M1896 long rifle that somebody had at a flea market for sale. And it's not exactly in the best of condition, you know, it's a little worn. And on the bore thing, the number 2 has got a hash mark on the disc here, so this is not pristine or in mint condition by any means. But the price was right, and it also has on the long rifle the Vasteras, I think I'm pronouncing that right, little micrometer rear sight, which is not that, you know, for target shooting. I guess a lot of people use these for civilian target shooting, so that's where they modify that with that little micro sight on there, which is pretty neat. So like I said, I picked this up. So we'll take a look at this gun and what I got, and then we're going to go on to reloading. I started to do some reloading for the 6.5 by 55 millimeter. Again, this is one of these fad guns, okay? What happens is, much like the Swiss rifles, the guns are well made, okay, and they shoot well. And the countries that use them really didn't beat the shit out of them too much, so you find a lot of them in good condition that are fairly shootable and, you know, and accurate. And then once it gets on the internet, ooh, this gun is accurate, everyone has to have one. And the Swedish M96 is one of those guns, either in the long version or the shortened one, the 9638, I think, with the bent down bolt handle. I have one of those. But the real ones are the M94 carbines. And those, for years, even way back when I was actively collecting in the 80s, they were difficult to find, and you really never seen any. And that was before the internet and that. So if you went to gun shows in a local region, you'd never find one. Now you can find them online, and they're astronomically priced, but you can take a crack at getting one. So like I said, everyone's into these. This is a hot item, and of course the price goes up. There was a time you couldn't sell one of these to save your life 30, 40 years ago. Now these things, you know, people snap them up if the price is reasonable. You know, some people get a little ridiculous with that and on. But it's a popular gun, and we'll take a look at this. Now I got 3 of them, and we're going to go in, and I'm going to try to dovetail in with all my other wild shit going on here. Concoct a good hand load for this. That, you know, but more on that when we get into reloading. Let's take a look at this gun. Alright, like I said, this is not like a gem mint gun, but it's not in bad shape, and everything's matching on it, so that's pretty good. I think you generally find them all matching. The Swedes didn't abuse their guns. And this has a threaded end, and a little cap's missing, so I gotta go get a replacement little cap on there. You can get them at the Gun Parts Corporation. And we got our steel butt plate, and like I said, there's our little disc thing. If we can focus in on it, you can see where it's been hashed once or twice to the 2, and then those, you can read them, you know. Now the thing about these discs is I've seen people selling them too, so, you know, somebody could be pulling a fast one and putting a disc with a better measurement on there on a gun that isn't. And this one here is the Carl Gustaf's State Arsenal, and a date of, I believe, 1906. So, you know, standard gun, fairly decent shape, been used. all matching, nice. And then like I said, the reason I picked this up is because there's that sight again. Now when people ask about these sights, everything else, blah blah blah, and if you notice, that's set on 2, because that is point of aim at 200 yards with factory ammo. And people will say, well, you know, it's set for this, set for that. Yes, that is true. But when I was examining this gun, I noticed that the front sight looks like somebody filed on it. Try to get that in focus there. But when you look at it, it's kind of got a large flat spot on the top of it. There you can see. You can see where somebody, looks like somebody filed the piss out of it. So now to shoot point of aim, because he must have been shooting at 40 fucking yards off his porch, I got to set this about right there, and I'm kind of right on, and the gun shoots a tad to the left with factory ammo. Okay, so this is another thing when collecting. People say, well, this is the way the sight is, this is what it should be, but you don't know if somebody has messed with the sight or the gun over the past 60, 70 years or whatever, you know, which that's what I believe happened. But all in all, the gun is not in bad condition, you know, a little bit worn. I've had better examples and I've seen better examples. It is stamped with the importer's thing on the end of the barrel over here on that side. It's stomped in there, so that came back in the 80s probably. Where the hell was that? I thought it was there. Alright, it's kind of hard to see. Looks like I'm gonna have to get a new camera. The importer's mark's stamped in there in small letters. So this one was brought in back in the late 80s, early shipments. So pretty nice looking. We'll take a look at the other side. Yeah, and from the other side, like you can see, stock got a little chewed up here and there. There's some wear on this and that, but you rarely, if ever, find any of these guns beat up. And if they were screwed up or in bad shape, that's because somebody got them surplus and didn't take care of them. Like I said, some of these guns, you'll find that the countries really took care of their weapons and serviced them and maintained them, and you know, didn't let them go to hell. And Sweden was one of them. And we'll go and take a look here at the bottom. General wear, a little bit of paint, but the gun is complete with the cleaning rod. Everything kind of looks good, and you know, functions all right, so one cannot complain. Let me see, we're getting this to focus here. See if we can eyeball that importer. There it is. Ah, went out of focus. There's the importer's mark right there. And let me see if I can get for some reason a lighting in that, a better look at that sight. But you can see where that air, see how that sight blade is real flat and wide? I believe somebody filed on that sucker. I haven't gotten my other guns out of storage to compare them. But yeah, it looks like somebody filed on it. So that's about the only downside, but no big deal. I mean, it's 100 yards. You just have to, you know, take that in consideration. So there it is, my latest acquisition, another one of those must-have mil surplus rifles, the Swedish model 1896 long rifle with that little micrometer sight on there. So I hope you enjoyed my latest acquisition, and stay tuned. We're going to have a video about reloading coming up next.